Howdy, I'm Matt, and in this video I'm going to give you my review of the Reptile 670 FPV flying wing. Now I want to give you a very early heads up. This review is a very mixed review. It's going to be a roller coaster ride of good and bad. Now, before we go any further, I want to make it 100% clear this model was bought out of my own money for my own abuses. This was not a freebie for review. Also, all links in the video description are affiliate links, so if you use any of those links you will be supporting this channel, something which I like to be 100% transparent about. Now with that said, like I said, this is going to be a roller coaster ride of some good stuff and unfortunately quite a few dang points as well. So let's start this review on a positive note. This little wing does fly very, very well. Oh, that reminds me, I need to turn that ground station off in a minute. Rara? Rara. The roll rate on it's nuts. Oh, right in the current fan.
Pilot error.
Yeah.
Is that right for a roll rate?
Okay, keep this in the back of your mind for everything which I bad I say about this model. Once you get over a few hurdles, it does fly very, very well. Very enjoyable to fly. Let's not knock it from that point of view. Now, with that said, the one other positive thing, and it's a massive one, it's made out of moulded EPP, okay? So, those of you which don't know anything about moulded EPP, you can bash it on the desk, and it works fine, and it will survive. You can wrap it into a hedge, and it's going to come out with a scuff on it. Moulded EPP is absolutely brilliant, fantastic, and this is great, moulded EPP, and I can just, look, there's my pen, I'm literally stabbing it in there, and look, I've had to hit that with that impact on there. Moulded EPP, absolutely brilliant. Compared to, say, EPPO foam, which I've got the tail fin off a full-size Sky Hunter here, I would never dare poke that with a pen. It would just pop through out the other side. If I smashed that on the desk, it would disintegrate. Whereas moulded EPP, or EPP in general, tough as old boots, to say the least. So that's the two big positive points about the Reptile S670. Now let's get into some of its not so positive points. The first one is, I'm a fan, again you can see I got my notepad over there, I'm actually going to say that this wing has been over-engineered, and as such it has been poorly designed. Now why am I saying this? How could something be over-engineered and thus poorly designed? And it all comes to the setup for this model. So if I take this top fuselage section off, and by the way, this thing is just a nightmare. The only way which I've managed to keep that on is by putting two physical pins in either side. So I'll put that lid to one side. The lid did stay on with its two magnets on the front, but as you'll see, that's actually hinged the wrong way, so that could catch up and blow off the model because it's hinged the wrong way. The catch should be on the other piece. See what I mean about over-engineered and poorly designed? Such a simple little thing like that could mean that you could lose that little piece in your flying field and you'll never see it again. And that's happened to me before with other models than the hatch has been blown off. Right, so what's my biggest bugbear with this model? It is this main fuselage area. So I'll tell you what, let me get the camera and let me go and zoom in. Let's get it zoomed right in and then you'll see what I'm talking about. This fuselage area just here. And you'll see it's very spacious in there now. In fact, let me just go and grab a battery and I'll make the point. Is that you'll have lots and lots of room to fit a variety of batteries in the nose. So you will now be able to fit a 1300 3S pack in there, not a problem. You would be able to get the lid down on that. You would also now be able to get a so that's a 4S 1300 pack, much wider than that one. Again, rough measurements, it's that thick. So I'll pop that in there and we'll put the lid down. Again, the lid will go down and we can potentially hit CG. Well, we'll hit CG because this one's got no motor on it. We'll get to that issue in a moment. But the issue is that this wing has been completely over-engineered to the point that it made a poor model. And the reason why they did that is because if you look on the photographs on Banggood, in this inside section, there was, you can just about see it in there, there was some foam going across here and also in this nose section here, which I've been and cut out. Also there's a, if you listen just there, there's a carbon spar which was going across. Now that's the issue, is that because you came up like an inch inside of here, you couldn't even fit a normal 1300 3S pack in the nose, thus you could not hit CG. Okay, and again, I've had to do that and add lead. You can see the lead which I've got down in there to be able to hit the centre of gravity. Now this wing was designed to have detachable wings, but let's be honest here, okay? This is what a little 670mm flying wing, so 67 centimeters at 20 inches approx. I know that's wrong, but you'll have to bear with me. I'm just recording all this in one go, so we leave all screw-ups in. And the idea of this wing is that you could have detachable wings, and that's the thing. This is a tiny little wing. You could fit this in my normal backpack. There's no need for this model to have detachable stuff on it. It's completely over-engineered. There is, and I'm going to repeat myself, no need for this at all, okay? What Reptile, in my honest opinion, what Reptile should have done is spent their time, effort and energy using this wing detachable thing with these little Velcro straps, which one broke off with, one of them, that one there broke off because I can see the glue down the edge, like just tearing it off and the glue came off, so completely useless. So in my opinion, what they should have done is the time and effort and energy they spent on making detachable wings on this model, they should have done it to the Reptile S670 or perhaps made a bigger model, and instead of severely compromising what is a small model which didn't need detachable wings. It's already very small. So as you can see, I've been and glued my wings on because there's no need for having detachable wings on such a small model. You could fit 3 of these in the flight board, two or three of these in the flight bag, and I wouldn't even notice because they don't take up much space at all. So yeah, over-engineered to the point that it made it too much of a challenge just to get this thing in the air, and you can see how much cutting out I've had to do in there, and it was really frustrating. What should have been a very quick build, glue the wings on, stick the servos in, sort out the FPV gear and a motor and a receiver, and off you go, turned into a complete nightmare because I put it together how they suggested with the carbon spar going across the nose, and like, do you really need a spar that close to the front of a model? No. So I then spent ages using hackery, you know, a hacksaw blade in there, having to cut the bloody spar out so that I could then get the depth down into the fuselage so I could fit a normal battery in there, and off we went. Okay, so yeah, poorly designed because it's been over-engineered, and I'm so sorry to say that because it does fly very well, just extremely frustrating. So if you've already been and bought one of these and you haven't put it together yet, do not put that front spar in and cut the foam out either side, and also right up here into the nose area. And again, I'm just going to zoom right in so you can see what I've done on mine. There we go. And you'll see that, those of you who are going to see the photographs, you'll see the difference, is that in this nose area I've cut that right out, and also back in here where that spar was as well. I've been and cut that out, so I now have a full-size battery bay, as you will have in yours if you do the same as well. Now let me just quickly look at my notes. So poorly designed to the point that it made a challenge of such a small model. You shouldn't have these kind of challenges with such a small model. Okay, I felt disappointed. It could have been so much more easier to build and quicker to get to the flight line. That's my issue. Okay, compared to many other models. For example, I'm going to grab out the little black. So this is the Ishin Blackwing, and no excuses for the mess of this one. It has had a rough life, again molded EPP. The last time I flew it, I took off inverted, and I flew it inverted until I landed it several times, and it's been in more trees and tree climber, and it has been well abused, to put it that way. But look at the size of the fuselage, no issues with this one at all. Same money, pretty much, if not cheaper. That's the Ishin Blackwing. You can look that one up on the channel. I've got, again, another model which I bought at my own money from my own abuses. And as you can see, I kind of abused that one, which it took. And asked for more. Brilliant little model, that one. Right, next issue which I've got. It's expensive, okay? However, if you see this model come up for about 30 quid, okay, so that's the kit version, not the plug-and-play version. If you see this model coming up for about £30, so that's £30 pesos in the United Kingdom, I would say it's probably good value for money. Anything more than that, I'm going to say it's too expensive. Okay, it's a £30 model every day of the week. Anything more is too expensive, and I can tell you I paid more than that. As such, I class it as expensive. Okay. The original motor which was suggested for this model was an 1806 motor, so that's an 1806, that's a 2280 kV, standard kV for the Emax motors, and it only just about flew. Just about flew. Very, quite a handful because it just didn't have the thrust in it. Yeah. So don't put an 1806 motor on the back, a 2204, a 2205, 2206, maybe something like a D28, 26, 2200 kV, which I ran on the back of this one, would be ideal. And by the way, to help you out, I'll put a couple of links to a couple of suggested motors in the video description for you. That also brings me, so we've done a negative point on that, and I've kind of lost the motor mount, which probably went AWOL a few moments ago. Yeah, so that brings me on to another negative point, the motor mount. Absolutely terrible. Okay, so what you have to do is glue this piece of wood onto the back of the model, and then you get a piece of carbon fibre, I think a carbon fibre plate, which you screw your motor to, and then you glue your motor, then you have to glue the plate to the thing because the screw holes here are too big, so the provided screw holes here are too big, so you can use servo screws on there, but I had to glue the motor mount on there, and as you can tell, I don't actually have a motor mount on here at the moment. It was here on my desk, I think it's gone over that way, and the motor mount is absolutely terrible. This is why I'm going to the point, is that if you only pay 30 quid for it, you're going to know about these issues, and you're going to be going, well, Matt said the motor mount's crap, and you've got to cut out a load of foam in the middle, but you're going to go in the back of your mind, well, I only paid 30 quid for it, so it's not the end of the world, and it's a good little flyer, and it's tough as old boots. So yeah, coming back to my point, motor mount, that's a crap. And unfortunately, I don't see any way out of that. It has done alright. The reason why it's not on mine, because I did land it really hard into the ground on 4S, and it did take a bit of a beating, hence why we got a prop bite out of the elevon over there on the right hand side. So seen it?
Yeah.
Landed.
Fuck me, that went some style. I'll go and get whatever went that way.
Yeah, motor mount not good. Okay. What have I also wrote on here? Oh, a stupid front spar. Can't say that too many times. Stupid front spar. Stupidly over-engineered for no reason which I can see of. Because remember, there's no real need for you to have detachable wings on such a small model. So we'll call it poor motor mount, fell off. That was my notes on there. Oh, their CG is incorrect as well. And again, this is a bit of an odd one because I also measured it up and put it in this Flying Wings CG calculator. So they came out as 145mm from the nose. Actually, you can run this wing 10mm back at 155 and it will fly absolutely fine. Okay, so keep that in the back of your mind. You can move the CG back and it will fly fine without it trying to drop a wing or doing it dirty on you. Okay, what else have I got on my notes there? Yeah, so in summary, this model has a lot of bugbears, to quickly recap them. Over-engineered to the point of being poor, being a poor model, okay, from the engineering point of view, because there's no need for you to have detachable wings on such a small model. It severely compromised the payload capacity to the point that you couldn't even fit what I class as a normal 1300 3S pack in there and get the lid down. Oh, a little note which I didn't mention is that you do get two lids, which you can put on here. The other one which has got a cutout here for like a run camera or a Mobius. That decreases the amount of space which you have inside, so you'll only be able to run a 1300, not a 3S pack instead of a 4S pack, because it digs down into your capacity. Again, you would be screwed if you didn't cut out some of this extra area in here to be able to get your battery inside. Again, just trying to quickly wrap this up. This back section here is just a piece waiting to get lost. Very, very frustrating. I solved that with mine by putting two pins in either side to hold this back piece on, because there's no magnets or anything in there, and it's all very loose and it will fly away. Okay, I've still got mine because I stuck pins in either side, so it was physically restrained. I did class this one as being expensive. Like I said, if it turns up for 30 quid on Banggood or another site, bargain. Okay, you know about the issues which this wing now has, and go for it. Okay, it would be value for money, because you know about things which you need to maybe tweak on it, and it's made, like I said, it's made out of molded EPP. It's tough as old boots. However, it does come with some challenges, and remember, we are living in times where, as RC enthusiasts, there are lots of other models out there which don't really have these challenges, and you're not going to have to get the knife out and start stabbing or cutting out pieces just to get the model to the flight line, you know. Blackwing, Eachine Blackwing as an example. This thing is tough as old boots. The only one thing which I'd say you'd want to buy with this model is the little mounted bracket for the motor at the back. Okay, to see the Eachine video, Blackwing video for that. Yeah, like I said, similar price. Perhaps this one's better value for money. And again, this is the nice thing for me to be able to do this, is that I've got collection models which I can reference and go, actually, like for like, that one's probably better value for money, because the time which it takes you to get the flight line is much less. This one took far too long. That said, like I said right back at the very, very beginning, keep in the back of your mind, this one does fly very well. It does fly really, really well, and it is made out of molded EPP, so it's a very tough model, and there's me trying to ram my fingers in it. It has hit a hedge. It's been in a, I don't think I've hit a tree with it yet. This one went into the ground on 4S at Fornaca and survived. The motor mount came off and we took a bite out of the thing. That's always a good sign for the model itself. So, with that said, there's one other topic which I'm going to bring up. Up on your screen right now is a screenshot of the review which I left on Banggood on the 19th of October 2017. That was the comments which I left, and Banggood got in touch and offered a partial refund, which I said, no, I don't want to it. Please just post the review. And we are now in November. Yeah, that review hasn't yet been published, so do go and check the Banggood website for the latest to see if this review has been published or not. I know that Banggood will post bad reviews, and perhaps I should have just marked it as being 5 stars all the way and said bad things about the model in the middle. But no, that's a true representation. That is what my feelings are of this model. I do feel that it flies very well. I do feel that it's overpriced. I do also feel that if this turned up for 30 quid, you wouldn't feel that bad about buying one. I also feel that they fly fantastically well and can take a beating because they are made out of molded EPP, and the profile of the wing is very, very good. It's a very slick looking wing, and like I said, it's very, very light, and you'll get 2 or 3 of these in your flight bag without an issue. You won't notice it because they're just small, light, little fun models. And on that note, if you have any questions about the Reptile S670, please let me know in the comments section underneath this video. Remember, I bought this model out of my own money for my own abuses, and I can assure you I have been abused it, as you can see the state of this. This model is going on to a new home. I've personally already been and decided, I've had my fun with it, it's going to go on and find itself a new home. Remember, I'm not spoilt for models, and the good ones stay, and I get to choose which ones stay and which one don't. Unfortunately, I've had my fun with this one, and it is going to go off to a new home. So, with that said, from myself, Matt, I would like to say a massive thank you to you for taking the time to watch this episode, and I'll see you again shortly. From myself, Matt, cheerios!